The road to Altoona starts today.
The 1992 Berwick Bulldog highlights tape is made possible thanks to the Ertley dealership in Berwick. Ertley and Berwick, a longtime supporter of Berwick Bulldog football, is proud to bring you the 1992 Bulldog highlights tape. August 17th, the first day of high school football practice in Pennsylvania. George Curry has 75 football players, most of them who, as far back as they can remember, have dreamed about this day. 75 football players, eager and anxious to begin the most spectacular season in Berwick football history.
You're going to have cameras in your face. You're going to have newspapers. Hey, that's Berwick football.
But this Berwick team, with a #1 preseason ranking in USA Today, a quarterback who has every college coach in the country at Berwick's door, this Berwick team would surpass the greatness of all of the others.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Take care. We'll see you after the game. Yep.
Okay, behind the receivers down there. Over there. Split ends, slots. One at a time. One at a time.
As you request, you come see nothing. We represent the Bulldogs VHS.
Opening night, all of Berwick and most of the state anticipates the Bulldogs' first game. A powerful Glenn Mills team is skeptical of the national ranking and comes to Berwick to claim some glory of its own. But all of the glory this night belonged to the Bulldogs. Jason Soboleski, on the first play from scrimmage, went 20 yards. Ron Paulus's first pass of the season was a touchdown, 7 yards, to Dante Pecorelli. On the Dogs' next possession, Paulus out of the shotgun, a big gainer to Pecorelli again. The drive ended with Paulus to Chris Orlando for a 24-yard touchdown. The Bulldogs, after 2 possessions, led Glenn Mills 13-0. As Glenn Mills tried to regroup, the Berwick kickoff team set the Dogs up again. Glenn Mills fumbled and Berwick recovered. On the next play, Paulus went 28 yards to Ryan Mason for Berwick's third first-quarter touchdown. Already, Ron Paulus had made his mark. 4 for 4, 3 touchdowns, and Berwick was still in the first half. The win against Glen Mills was an all-around team effort. Special teams, again, Mike Soboleski. On defense, Chris Orlando had 3 interceptions. Jason Soboleski and Ron Paulus finished off the score. The Bulldogs finished off one of the best Quad A teams in the state, winning 33-7.
I saw it in your eyes. I saw it at 4:30 when you came here. I saw it in your eyeballs. You came here ready to play. You were thinking all week. You put it together. Everything went. Everything went. Okay, and we did it on a hell of a humid, sticky, rotten night. But that's one. We got 14 to go. You understand me?
The Bulldogs understood. Another tough team from out of the area came in for Game 2. Bishop McNamara was hoping that Game 1's blowout was some kind of mistake. It wasn't. Mike Soboleski got it going by taking the opening kickoff to the McNamara 18-yard line. The Bulldogs got nothing on that first drive, but the tone for the game had been established. On the next possession, Paulus passed the Bulldogs into position. And Soboleski finished off the drive. Berwick's tough, aggressive play put the Dogs into position again. They recovered a McNamara punt fumble, and 5 plays later, Soboleski scored again. Berwick, early in the second quarter, led 14-0. McNamara came back and tried to make a game of it. The big touchdown pass deep in the Bulldogs secondary made it 14-7. Berwick seemed to take the McNamara touchdown personally. Ryan Mason took matters into his own hands. A great effort down to the McNamara 25. On the next play, Paulus hit Orlando for the 25-yard touchdown that gave the Bulldogs a 21-7 lead. After another TD pass to Pecorelli, the defense put the game away. J.C. Cleaver intercepted and ran 34 yards for a Berwick touchdown. The Bulldogs went on to win 42-14. 2 weeks into the season, the Bulldogs had beaten two of the toughest teams in the East, and the #1 national ranking seemed secure. With the big guns from out of the area disposed of, the Bulldogs began taking care of business at home. Scranton Prep from the tough Big 11 came to Berwick for week 3. The Berwick offense struggled early. This running play, the fake to Soboleski and the big gainer by Paulus, the big play in the opening drive that ended without a Berwick score. Finally, in the second quarter, Paulus hit Chris Orlando for the big play that set up the Bulldogs' first score of the game. It's not easy to get points on Berwick's defense, but the Cavaliers managed a touchdown before the half, and Berwick led just 8-6. Paulus went to work to get more Bulldog points before halftime. The 2-minute drill ended with this 16-yard TD run. Berwick went on to beat Scranton Prep 35-6, Berwick's third straight win. Game 4 took the Bulldogs on the road for the first time. At Wyoming area, the defense put up its first shutout of the season. Paulus ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for 1. Berwick won 28-0 to go 4-0. Back home for week 5, a standing room only crowd to see Berwick put its national title on the line against Wyoming Valley West. In the game's first drive, Bill Hetler breaks a tackle and goes 14 yards. Soboleski gets the 2-point try, and the Bulldogs lead 8-0. The Berwick defense held, and the offense went right back to it. Paulus found Hetler for a big gainer, setting up Berwick's next score. That came when Paulus hit Ryan Mason on a 14-yarder. The Bulldogs scored on the first 2 drives to lead 15-0. The Paulus-Hetler combination worked again. Another big play over the middle to set up Sobolewski's 1-yard touchdown to make it 22-0. Then the defense. Watch the Valley West receiver split wide. Chris Orlando steps in front of the pass for the interception, his 7th of the year. Jason Sobolewski finished it off. The Bulldogs went in at halftime already leading 29-0. They came out in the second half looking for more, and they got it. Paulus scrambling, breaks a tackle, and scores. Paulus is blitzed, but gets the pass off to Chris Orlando. An 18-yard touchdown. The Bulldogs lead 42-0.
Hey, Joe, see something? Joe, see something? Good call,
The good calls and the touchdowns kept coming. Sobolewski scored from 21 yards.
I took that 64, like 2 yards off the ball, and then all of a sudden he started fighting that way, so I turned him back in that way. And then all of a sudden I see everybody, and then I hear the damn siren go off, and I was like, all right.
There was lots to laugh about. Dante Pecorelli finished off the scoring with a 38-yard run. 55-7 the final. 55 points, the most scored by the Bulldogs in their first 5 games. When Scranton came to Berwick for Week 6, people were beginning to understand why this team was getting national exposure. Chris Orlando made a tremendous catch in the end zone to open the scoring. The running game exploded for 3 touchdowns, including a pair from Jason Sobolewski. And the Berwick special teams were outstanding as well. This Scranton punt blocked by Sobolewski and into the hands of Nick Fedeko, who went 38 yards for the touchdown. $49-0 the final, a total team victory, and the 6th in a row.
Football teams, 2 good schools. We expect a real good, hard-hitting football game this evening, okay?
Now play your hearts out. Everybody give 100%. Everything you got out here tonight. Come out here happy too. Sure, our father warned him.
Hazleton came in for Week 7, and the Cougars gave the Bulldogs more football than they bargained for. The big play Berwick offense struggled with Hazleton's defense. Finally, quarterback Ron Paulus saw Dante Pecorelli, and the 42-yard touchdown gave Berwick a 7-0 lead. But Hazleton's offense moved against Berwick. The defense that had allowed just 5 touchdowns in 6 games was having trouble with Hazleton's running game. Late in the half, the Cougars driving for the tying touchdown. But Chris Orlando intercepts and ends the Hazleton drive on the last play of the half. The Cougars came out in the second half and took over where they left off. They scored a touchdown to make it 7-6, but missed the game-tying extra point. With their perfect season and national ranking on the line, quarterback Ron Paulus took matters into his own hands. This play has worked all season, but never quite this well. Paulus exploded through the big hole and ran 61 yards for a touchdown. The extra point made it 14-6 and allowed the Bulldogs a little breathing room. Mike Bennett finished off Hazleton's last try with an interception. Berwick won it 14-6, but there was no hooting, no hollering afterward, no locker room celebration. This one was too close.
Good ball, dogs.
Not good at all, guys. Not good at all. You did do what you had to do. We are 7-0. We are in the driver's seat. We beat a big Quad A school, good football school. They're going to be in the playoffs. But we got to get back to Berwick football.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Berwick
The Wyoming Valley Championship was on the line when Coughlin came to Crispin Field. The Crusaders, the last obstacle between the Bulldogs and one of their season goals, to win the Wyoming Valley Conference Championship. The Bulldogs began the scoring when Paulus hit Orlando with a 21-yard touchdown. Next, the Berwick defense. Mike Bennett intercepts and goes 66 yards. The offense, behind Jason Sobolewski's 77 rushing yards, rolled up 464 total yards. Paulus threw 3 touchdown passes, 16 now for the season. The Bulldogs beat Coughlin 65-6. A devastating display of both offense and defense against a good Coughlin team. The game against Coughlin was the last one at home in the regular season. The Bulldogs would continue their quest for a perfect season, playing their last 3 games on the road. It was Hallows Eve in Tunkhannock, but the only thing scary was what a mighty Berwick team might do to the Tigers. It started matter-of-factly. Mike Sobolewski and Ron Paulus with a couple of short runs. Another from Jason Soboleski, 21-0 Bulldogs. Then Paulus started to hook up with Dante Pecorelli, a 19-yarder to make it 28-0. And a 70-yarder again to Pecorelli to make it 35-0.
Don't ever get down. What I tell you?
There's that 4-6
You understand what I'm saying to you? See, there's a 5 flat when I time you in practice. There's a 4-5 in game. Good job.
There were so many others doing a good job too. B.J. Hayes didn't look very special when this kick return began, but watch what happens when Hayes gets some open field. Hayes' touchdown gave the Bulldogs a 41-7 lead and gave George Curry a chance to see his future. Dante Pecorelli took over for Paulus at quarterback, who added another 239 yards to his total. Pecorelli led a scoring drive in the final minutes, and Berwick won for the 8th time, 48-7. The win at Tunkhannock clinched for the Dogs their 5th straight Wyoming Valley Conference title. They were on the road for the 2nd straight week when they visited Pittston area. Paulus and Soboleski each scored on a pair of short runs. Center Jim Whitmire and tackle Tony Saltasia dominated the line play as the Bulldogs scored 5 running touchdowns. Paulus also threw 2 more TD passes, numbers 19 and 20, both to Mike Bennett, whose 73-yard catch and run gave the Bulldogs a 29-0 lead. Mike Sobolewski finished off the Berwick scoring with a 25-yard run. The Bulldogs won it 47-0, the 3rd shutout for the defense. Berwick's first-team defense gave up just 3 touchdowns in 10 games. In the final regular season game at Williamsport, Berwick won 39-7 and looked forward to the Eastern Conference playoffs back home at Crispin Field. The Eastern Conference playoffs provided a new challenge for the Bulldogs. The Wyoming Valley title was the first step to a state championship. But to get into the state playoffs, Berwick had to win the Eastern Conference. Longtime rival Shamokin was in the way.
You're the visiting team. It's punt, head, and tail. Call it while it's in the air, and I have to catch it. Ready? Tails. Tails he says, and tails it is. You have a choice. Kick and receive, defend the goal, or defer to second half. You are going to defer to the second half. You have a choice to receive. You will receive which goal you're going to defend. All right, you get over there, please. You come over here, please. You're going to receive, right?
After 3 weeks on the road, the Bulldogs were happy to be back home, and the Berwick faithful were glad to see them. Paulus to B.J. Hayes. The Dogs are set up deep in Shamokin territory. Paulus finished it, and the 2-point try was good. 8-0 Berwick. Shamokin on offense, but not for long. The pass is tipped, and Bill Hetler is there to set up Berwick's second score. The Bulldogs didn't go undefeated by playing patty cake with their special teams.
Good job! Good job,
Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. Good job.
All right.
The Dogs again on defense. They recover, and Orlando is out at the 1. That set up Paulus' 1-yarder to make it 22-0. Special teams play again put the Bulldogs in position. Orlando returns the punt to the Shamokin 9-yard line. Next play, Paulus to Sobolewski, a 7-yarder. The romp was on as the Bulldogs went ahead 28-0. There was more to do in the second half, and the Bulldogs did it in a big way. First play after a Shamokin turnover, Paulus deep to Mike Bennett, deep indeed. The 93-yard touchdown pass, the longest in Berwick history. The Bulldogs won the Eastern Conference semifinal 49-0. The shutout, the first against Shamokin in 45 games. Paulus set new records for total yardage and touchdown passes. The Bulldogs were ready for the Eastern Conference title game against North Pocono. The Trojans from the Big 11 were the last team to beat Berwick, so the Bulldogs needed no other incentive than the Eastern Conference title game. Paulus started the scoring midway through the first quarter, a 6-yard run with a good kick, and a 7-0 Berwick lead. And then Chris Orlando made his contribution, first on the receiving end of a Paulus pass, 13 yards, 14-0. Then the play that really put the Trojans away. Orlando took a North Pocono punt and returned it 60 yards for the Berwick touchdown. The point after gave the Bulldogs a 21-0 lead. Later, it was Paulus and Orlando again. The All-American quarterback went 18 yards to make it 28-0. And to finish out the scoring, Paulus to Orlando, a 10-yard TD pass. The Bulldogs played it conservative in the second half. The defense, for the second week in a row, shut out a playoff team. 35-0 was the final. Berwick, 13-0, and another goal reached. Eastern Conference champions. There were 2 goals remaining, an undefeated season and a state championship. Both were just 2 wins away. Hershey, a cold and windy day. Another challenge for the Bulldogs, who would have to eliminate, because of the severe weather conditions, 75% of its offense. Mannheim Central, the Bulldogs' opponent in the state semifinal, made some early progress. Their veer offense, which Berwick hadn't defended against all season, opened the game with an impressive drive. It ended only after Mannheim fumbled near the Berwick goal line. The Bulldogs finally got their own offense revved up. It was difficult to pass. Still, Paulus managed to move the ball through the swirling winds. This big gainer to Bennett set up the game's first touchdown. Paulus kept it himself and went 30 yards for the score. The 2-point try was no good, but early in the second quarter, Berwick had a 6-0 lead. Running the ball was a sound game plan, and Berwick, behind its talented offensive line, controlled the ball and the clock. Jason Sobolewski scored twice on short touchdowns, and at halftime, Berwick had a 22-0 lead. When they came out for the second half, the Bulldogs knew Mannheim's run offense would be hard-pressed to score 3 touchdowns on a defense that hadn't allowed even one in 3 weeks. By now, Mannheim's veer was no longer a novelty, and Berwick was dominating on both sides of the ball. Paulus was conservative in the air, but productive. This completion to Orlando set up another Berwick score. Paulus went in from the 1 to put the game away. The Bulldogs proved in the state semifinal just how talented they are. For the first time in 13 games, Paulus did not throw a touchdown pass. Still, Berwick scored 4 times on the ground. They beat Mannheim 29-6. All that remained was one final game in Altoona for everything. An early December blizzard may have postponed Berwick's championship season, but it did not dampen the enthusiasm of the team or of the town. 5,000 fans came to Altoona to see their dogs play for the state championship.
Green, you wanted to receive with your back to the scoreboard. Okay, would you have your back to the scoreboard, White? Keep voting for them.
Number 30, Brian Smith, and number 57, Brad Jones. Noisemakers, as well as the play of Bonnie Commanders at the IWA.
Only one team now stood between the Dogs and the goal they set for themselves way back in August. The Black Hawk Cougars brought a big offense and a perfect record to Altoona. They came out in the first quarter and did something no one had done all season. They took the opening drive of the game and scored. It was the first time all season the Bulldogs had been behind. They weren't behind for long. Quarterback Ron Paulus put together a near-perfect drive of his own. Berwick drove 76 yards. Paulus 4 for 4 on the drive, including the first of 4 touchdown passes. This one to Chris Orlando, 36 yards. The extra point was blocked. It was 6-6. The Bulldog defense got the ball right back. Ryan Wolf recovered a Cougar fumble on the Black Hawk 26. Three plays later, Paulus and Orlando hooked up again. A 5-yard touchdown, the extra point blocked again. 12-6 Berwick after the first quarter. Blackhawk brought one of the most explosive offenses in the state into the game. 45 points a game they averaged. But on this day, Berwick's swarming defense forced 6 Cougar turnovers. When Paulus hit Orlando for his 3rd TD catch of the game, Berwick had a 19-6 lead, and they took that into the locker room. The Bulldogs made one slight switch at halftime. They moved Bill Hetler into the fullback spot to replace Jason Soboleski, who had injured his ankle. Hetler became the key figure in Berwick's second-half offense. He rushed 7 times for 45 yards. Hetler's running success allowed the Bulldogs to control the ball and the clock in the second half. He scored once from the 5 to make it 26-6. Quarter, Paulus finished out the scoring and his career with a touchdown pass to Hetler, and that made it 33-6.
Played a pretty decent game. Regardless of. Hey, it's a lot sweeter at the end of the year on the victory than the loss. When you're standing on the side.
Some of the youngsters came in to finish it off. Their time will come another season. But as the clock ticked down on this one, the celebration began in the most spectacular season in Berwick football history.
Outstanding game. You guys are the state champions.
played an outstanding game. Hey, congratulations, man. It's all yours. Put a hand on that man.
Good job, you guys. Hell of a job. Hey, come on. Tony. Hey, good job. Good job, Mace. Good job. That's a hell of a job right here. There's a reason why you're one of maintenance. Tell you, put the big count. Good Tony, you are one kid. One kid. One kid. Muffles, you show me today. Good job. Joey off. Hey, don't be sad. Jesus Christ. We won the game, man. Big time. football, right up to junior high football. What a career they had. What a career. They became playoff teams. There was a team that was averaging 47 points, 3 points a game. And we held them to 6. We scored 33. God bless those boys.
You guys are definitely the best. This is the way to lead this field. National champions, state champions. You're the best. Thanks for everything this whole season. We might be number one, but I think everybody on this team thinks you guys are number one too.
To our fans, as everybody already said there.
Where you going? Where you going?
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that we have that much fan support that far away. You guys, it's easy to come to our own games, and I know to do that, but when you go out and travel that far just to go see us play, it really makes us feel good. And I know there could be a great team, there could be a lot of talent on the team, but without great fan support, it's really hard to go out and play your best because you don't feel like there's anybody backing you. So it really makes it easy for us to play good when we have great fans like you all backing us up.
Wire to wire, it is perhaps the most difficult achievement in team sports, to lead from the beginning to the end when every week is somebody else's playoff game, to carry the label as the best team in America and play as if you were every single week. There have been other great Berwick teams, and there certainly will be more. But this one, with its All-American quarterback, a player the likes of which we may never see again. This team, with its character and its poise, this is the one all others will be compared to. The 1992 Berwick Bulldogs, 15-0, Pennsylvania's state champions, the best high school football team in America.